So we absolutely refuse to play nice, and I am on this struggle bus, 175 beats per minute. Still 10 kilometers to go, and we start playing games. No, we start playing games. I am in no shape at all to play these games. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Alviso. This is a hot one today. We are like 100 degrees. That's going to play a factor later in today's race. But let's talk about who is here. We have Dante in front of me, always a really strong breakaway rider. You also have the Thirsty Bear duo. There's Blaine, and then we have, actually, I think there were 3 of them in today's race. Thirsty Bear's always the threat out here. And then Cortex brought out a few guys. So those are the ones to look out for today. Let's dive into some race footage. All right, what is this? The second lap, something like that. We have Blaine attacking off the front into the tailwind section. Dante in hot pursuit. There he goes. I let these 2 riders get away. What am I thinking? This is a big mistake, and I'm going to pay for it later. These guys are both really strong breakaway riders, and I realize that nobody's that motivated to bring them back. So I have to wait an entire lap. For the tailwind section, and then I attempt this solo bridge. Ouch. Ouch. Look, guys, it is easy to overestimate your ability, especially if you're new to racing. I see it all the time in the footage that gets submitted, and I'm not immune from digging myself into a deep hole, especially getting back into some racing after some time off, and especially on a really hot day like today. I think it was close to 100 degrees, like I said, so yeah. I complete the bridge effort, but just look at my heart rate here. I never quite recovered from this. Even as we started rotating, my heart rate at this point should be down in like the 150s, not the 160s or 170s like you see it. And this is probably a subject for another video, but heat adaptation is a real thing. Just take a look at my power in this race compared to last week's Alviso. So last week's Alviso, 154 beats per minute average, with 351 watts of normalized power. And then this week, probably about 20 degrees hotter, I was at 165 beats per minute for only 299 watts. So that's a much harder effort for 52 fewer watts. It's crazy how much the heat destroyed me today. But let's talk about how this breakaway unfolds. Okay, but first a quick message from the sponsor of this video, and that is Skillshare. Look, guys, I am a geologist who's just enthusiastic about bike racing. That's it. I have no background in video production or anything like that, but now here we are doing this thing. And you may have noticed we've upped the production value over here at NorCal Cycling Studios. Hopefully, you've noticed that things are starting to look and sound a little bit better. Like this, for example. I have a microphone boomed out right here next to my head. This is my 3-light setup in my garage. It's pretty simple. But how did I learn how to do this? Well, trust me, it wasn't my science background. It came from others. And that's what Skillshare is all about. I literally went onto their site. I typed in something like videography lighting. And I came across this class by Jordy that offers super easy step-by-step instructions on how to set up a lighting scene just like this one. But that's not all they offer. There are literally thousands of other creative classes that you can choose from. So if you're interested in learning a new skill, even if you're starting out from scratch like I did, Skillshare is a great place to start, especially right now, because right now they're running a promotion. The first 1,000 of my viewers will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare by clicking the link down in the description. Look, it's totally free. Just sign up, and if you don't like it, that's fine. Cancel. No strings attached. With that said, let's get back into some bike racing. So we absolutely refuse to play nice, and I am on this struggle bus, 175 beats per minute. Still 10 kilometers to go, and we start playing games. No, we start playing games. I am in no shape at all to play these games. Cortex is looking back, and they're playing this exactly like they should, by the way. They're the only 2 guys with teammates in this group, and he's just letting this gap open up. He's like, go ahead, Jeff, chase that back, and 176 beats per minute. Dante sees they're riding on the wall. He jumps across, and this is why it's a good idea to take me off the back. I have to chase this down. Cortex has no obligation to chase his teammate, right? He's not going to help chase this, so I have to chase this back, and it's like the last thing I want to do right now. And as soon as I bring it back, no rest for me. You guessed it. They attack again. Cortex really playing it well right here. Dante's able to follow on this time, but This is rough. This is how you want to play it when you have a teammate. This is good teamwork by Cortex. And look, I was already in bad shape, so just a couple of minutes later, by the time Blaine goes on the left here with a really searing attack, I'm on fumes. Like, not really in a position to chase. So now I'm really going to lean on the Cortex duo, who, being the only team represented in this breakaway, should really shoulder a lot of the responsibility for chasing. Like, if they're not going to be initiating, they're kind of on the hook for chasing, and that's exactly what they do. Ouch. Cortex is now committing themselves, and I absolutely need to follow this. Another over 1,300 watt effort. But this is important that I follow this attack because, think about it, if one Cortex guy gets away up the road, you know the other guy isn't going to be doing any work to chase his teammate. That's going to be completely on my shoulders to chase that back. So it's better I nip it in the bud right now.
I'll help rotate. So you've seen me help rotate?
Some nice chatter here among frenemies at LV. So I basically want to help rotate to bring Blaine back because we were not able to bring him back. Cortex doesn't want to rotate with me because I get it. Like, they don't want to bring a sprinter to the line. But the way I see it, we're all losing right now to Blaine. Blaine's a guy who's capable of doing like 380 watts for the last 7 kilometers of this race, while we're all back here kind of looking at each other doing 100 watts. So we're losing. Like, something must be done. And something is done. Dante's had enough. He decides to attempt the bridge effort solo. Cortex kind of starts to chase right here, but they're still not really committing to it. But you know what? In fairness, like, I was not having a great day in this heat, and maybe they weren't having the best day either. But one thing I won't do is tow both of them across to the leaders. That is not how I'm going to win this race. I already punched my ticket doing that once, and I'm still paying the price. And then just a couple minutes later, Max also decided that he has had enough and attempts to jump across to Dante in pursuit of Blaine, who is just motoring at a consistent and efficient pace up front. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. I feel like I have to say that once per LV, so video now. If Blaine only knew how dysfunctional we were back here. I mean, this is what you're counting on when you're out front in the breakaway, is a disjointed, dysfunctional chase group. And they don't get much worse than this. It's pretty much every man for themselves. We're, one moment we're coasting like right now. The next minute we're sprinting. That is not the most efficient. In fact, that's the most inefficient way to do it. So finally here, Cortex is like, okay, we have to commit to this. And just like I said before, I cannot let one of the Cortex riders get away because that would be race over for me. So I really have to step on it right here. 175 beats per minute. I am hurting for sure. But this is basically it. This is the hill I die on. I have to catch these remaining riders in order to hopefully eventually catch Blaine still up the road. And you can see as I start to pick up these riders, everyone is just so incredibly shelled. It is hilarious. Myself included. Like, we were just beating up on each other, counterattacking each other to death, trying to catch Blaine solo. It was ridiculous. But we end up back together in this little chase group, inside of 1 lap to go. And if we want any chance of catching Blaine at this point, we absolutely must organize and commit ourselves to a clean, rotating pace line. But that's not the case. As you can see, people are still skipping turns, letting gaps open up. But that's just the way it is. Like, at the end of a race, this is pretty common. Usually, it's really hard to organize. So with about 1,300 meters to go, I just come to the left of Max here, and I yell on him to stay on so I can just completely empty the tank and try to use my remaining energy to catch Blaine. Unfortunately, it's just too little, too late. Blaine's still off the front, doing exactly what he should have done. And let's talk about that for a second. How did he win? Because I've discussed this on my channel before. He capitalized on his strength. I know this sounds so simple, but I get a lot of people submitting footage. And the most common one is they say, oh, I'm not a sprinter. And then they wait for 200 meters to go. It always confuses me. But what did Blaine do? He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He is a go from 10 kilometers sort of guy, and surprise, surprise, he went with about 10 kilometers to go. So he was rewarded with the well-deserved win. Congrats, Blaine. And as always, catch you guys in the next one.